Steve Marriott Coaching. Today I want to talk to you about something called communicating, and not in a communication skills kind of way, but I want to share with you something that on the surface it seems quite insignificant, but it's making a huge difference in the work that I'm doing and the people I'm working with. I want to talk to you about communicating in high definition. What do I mean by that? If ever you've been to a television retailer, you will be presented with the first bank of television screens, which are what we call standard definition. So you'll look at those and they all look really nice and they've got nice pictures of various things going on. And as you move around the store, you will then go into the high definition screens. And you'll be drawn to them because they're ever so slightly brighter. They're just a little bit more rich in their detail. So when you compare them to the standard definition, you kind of go, these are nicer. And then if you're a little bit more adventurous, you'll go towards the back of the store where you will find the ultra high definition, the 4K, the 8K televisions. And when you step into that arena, the pictures seem to explode in front of you. The colours have a depth. The picture has a vibrancy, almost really, really true to life. And then as you cast your eyes back over to the other televisions, the HD and the SD, you'll find that you're less attracted to them. You kind of go, just feels a little bit fuzzy over there. And a similar thing happens in communicating when we're talking to each other. Now, when I say communicating, I don't mean communicating stuff and information. I want to talk about real communicating. And when I talk about real communicating, I mean that we're communicating for connection, we're communicating for deeper understanding, and we're communicating for a shared perspective. A shared perspective, not necessarily an agreed perspective. You see, your perspective is a wonderful mash of three elements. It's a combination of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. And no one of those elements operates in isolation. Everything that you do has been preceded and followed by a thought and a feeling. Every thought that you have has got a feeling and an action attached to it, and vice versa. So when we talk about sharing our perspective, we often will state one of our elements. Maybe it's a thought, maybe it's a feeling, or maybe it's an action. And it will be primarily what you prefer, the thing that you kind of go to all of the time. But by stating simply what you think, or what you're doing, or how you're feeling, you're only actually imparting a third of the total experience. So you're kind of in standard definition, SD. It's a little bit fuzzy. So by not allowing yourself to go into high definition, what you're actually doing is missing out on offering 2/3 of your communicating. So 2/3, 67% is missing from your connection, from other people's understanding, and from your shared perspective. But when you share all three, you take your communicating into the ultra high definition arena, and it opens up, like when you see it on the screen, it opens up a huge amount of interest in your brain. There's a richness of detail, there's a depth that we want to get into, and it's almost hypnotic. So when people communicate with all three elements, what I see is that the quality of their conversation and the exploration of perspective becomes a much richer, much deeper, and much more transparent thing. Now, I've been using this for quite a while now, and it's always been on the kind of an insignificant thing. I'll get people in my groups to introduce themselves, and I'll just go head, heart, and hands. Tell me what you're thinking, tell me how you're feeling, and tell me what you're up to. And it's only recently when I've recognised that when groups embrace this, they take their communicating and their rapport building and their trust levels to different levels. By simply doing this at the start or at any point when you want to share something, it accelerates the level of trust in teams, it deepens the level of connection, and it helps them create better understanding of each member of the team and where they're at. So all I'm going to say to you at the end of this one is, if you want to take your communicating into high definition, give head, heart, hands a try. The more you use it, the more that you'll get that connection.